Yeah, as we've already mentioned, football is an ever-evolving sport, and it continues to, evolve and change over the years. And something that has also changed over the years is how football has been consumed. Before, if you look at maybe the 80s, the 90s, the fans then were seen as purists, but now it's more like everything is capitalism, everything is turning towards the money-making avenue. Clubs are just thinking about money, 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 how to make more money. Yes, there's still focus on football, but the primary focus now seems like how to make money. And it is begging the question if capitalism is slowly ruining football. And the prime example at the moment is Sporting CP and where they find themselves. I mean, this is a club that they had one of the best young managers in world football in the name of Ruben Amorim. And they were winning games for fun. Gyökeres was scoring for fun. They went 18 games, 18 months unbeaten at home, And all of a sudden, Manchester United came mid-season. A struggling Manchester United came mid-season, took Amorim out of the picture, and now Sporting, I think they've only won once since Amorim left in about 5 or 6 games. And it's just begging the question, should these kind of things be happening?
It depends on the way you want to look at it, but then we've always known that when you have to talk about capitalism, it's a matter of profits coming first.
Yeah.
You have to, and then what we know about profit is that those that make the calls would always want to do anything at all costs to make sure that those below the table suffer, or maybe not suffer, but take advantage of wherever they can. And for that of Sporting CP, something that was going to happen. It's not even just them. We've seen that happen in several clubs where clubs that have more money sort of push it out. We saw that first. Even Manchester United they did it
the biggest example.
Yeah, because even United of recent, although they've sacked the man to Dan Ashworth, we know that when he was at Newcastle, they made sure they even paid a lot of money, dragged him out, brought him to United, they've let him go. These clubs will
Chelsea
keep
did the same thing too for Potter and the likes.
Yes, they went there, paid. So these clubs will keep doing it because first off, they are the biggest, whether we like it or not. They have much of the percentage of fans. When I mean like the big clubs.
Generally, I agree. If you say the money.
No, I mean about the fans, the fanship. When you talk about first off, you know that no matter how poor United is, Manchester United still controls a lot of fan sect. They have fans all around the world. No matter how bad Chelsea wants to be, we still know that they're having. Although there's one of recent we saw that sort of improvement when it comes to the followership for the club. So they have the money, and because the fans want success, whether they are going to pay more for it, they don't care. They will just do anything at most to make it out of it. And clubs below the cadre would surely suffer for it. That's why we had that issue when we talk about the Super League, because it's more about big teams facing themselves and making money because they feel they need to have the higher chunk. Capitalists will always want to make the best. They always want to have the best of, if it's food, let's have the best part of the protein, whatever it is, and leave the crumbs for others. And it's sad that
it's for me it's quite sad, because not really sad, but it's just sort of ruining football that we all like love. Or imagine Manchester City, Sheikh Mansour just pumping money after his takeover, and what happened? They started winning titles. Why do you think till date? I think that this is why till date people don't really see Manchester City are one of the best clubs in the world, probably currently the best club in England. Forget their form, but like people don't see them as a traditional big side. This because they just see them as a capitalist side.
You know that for every league, they have these clubs that we call their traditional side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They are not seen as a traditional side. They are not seen,
but then they're also winning, getting more followership through the sources that they have gotten over time. And I think every top club is guilty of this thing you've mentioned. Let's start with West Ham. West Ham got to win the Conference League.
Yeah.
Yes, the Conference League, and then what happens? Arsenal, then Declan Rice moved to Arsenal.
But it was time for a step up. That's a different thing. We did not come and take Declan Rice during their season.
That's the thing.
It was time for a step up. He has played how many years?
Are we seeing the ball? So big players will want to move to big clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Big clubs also want to take advantage. Amorim left because they told him it's now or never.
Yeah.
It's not like he could not wait. But the club has pressed his neck and they've told him that if you don't come now, you cannot move again. So I feel it's still going to be there as long as even traditional clubs too, they're not taking advantage of the money. That's why they're even selling lots of shares. Can we see who can? I tell you, if Tottenham tomorrow have another, maybe they get a new shareholder that pumps in a lot of money. They'll be able to do all this kind of thing because they already done the biggest of it.
So now just to navigate around this discussion, if everything we are saying on this set here is accurate, what can we do to sort of close down the pyramid? Because based on what you are saying, that means in every Premier League season, the favourites will always be one of Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea, and Manchester United.
But that's how it happens for every team, except one of those.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so holistically, it's just like if you go to La Liga, 3 horse race.
It's 3 horse
Barca, Real Madrid, and Atletico.
The others are doing catch up.
The others are probably doing catch up. Maybe if you go to Serie A as well, maybe Serie A over the past 3 years it has changed. But once upon a time it was Juventus and others.
I feel there's always an error.
So what do you think can be done to sort of narrow down this gap in the pyramid? I mean, people were saying, oh, do you know why people are no longer advocating for City to be demoted again to Championship? We know that if they go there, they are coming back up the next season.
They are
coming back up. They will break all the records.
The quality is there.
So what do you think can be done?
Firstly, I think in all way there is nothing that really can be done. One, because big clubs will keep getting money popped in, except they get to a level where they cannot really cut it. That's why we've seen teams like Bolton get off there. They are no longer anywhere to be seen. Portsmouth, we can't see them. But with this kind of new level where we know that strategy in business is very, very important, I don't think they'll get to that point. It's just going to be can we see a miracle? There's surely going to be that season where clubs will outperform themselves, like what we saw in Leicester. We also saw Brest. We saw Girona. That's what I'm saying. It will always be a one-off. And if you don't want it to be that way, then there has to be an investment in another club, one of those small clubs. Newcastle should have been in contention now, just that due to the financial fair play rule, they cannot really spend as much as they want.
An hypothetical question for you: if they were to make a rule that every club has a cap on spending, let's say no club can pay any player more than 200k per week. Like, let's say there was a rule like that. Do you think these clubs, the likes of City, Arsenal, do you think they will have the players they have?
I don't really think they would. But first off, even the salary, I don't really think. So let's also look at something that is attainable.
No. You look at it in a way
because we already have the financial fair play rule, which also restricts how much you can spend. And we saw big clubs like Chelsea navigate through it, and they look at the loophole and extended contracts.
Clubs are still playing players and managers ridiculous amounts. I think Diego Simeone is the highest paid manager in the world. Look at all these kind of things.
And if you look at it, why you cannot even put it that way is that these clubs make money. They make lots of money. That even the players will tell you that it's not like we are not even getting much as expected. We've seen where players say we are playing too many games and all of that.
I'm not getting much as expected.
Yes,
Any player in a big club will say that.
It's like you are getting your salary now. The Club World Cup has been expanded. You play more games. It doesn't change anything. It's still that on a normal day. Let's say you have to play from semi. Normally we'll see those semi-finals and all of that. But this time now you're going to play more. You're starting from a group stage. You play to the knockout. So it's more games. It's not like it's apart from the bonus. There are some other clauses with seriously. So as long as these clubs will keep getting money, you cannot in any way tell the players they are going to restrict their pay. And then why we also talk about the smaller clubs too. Look at Moise Caicedo. How much was he earning at Brighton? He goes to Chelsea. It's way 100% of what he's earning.
Yeah.
And you cannot hold this players because at the end everyone is looking at financial freedom. Everyone is looking at making money. No matter wherever you are on earth, you want to keep making money. That's why
capitalism will always.
I think it's always be there. We're in an era where capitalism will be there. I will not say the Stone Age, but this period, every businessman wants to make money. And that's why Ineos had to
football continue being a money grabbing game.
It will continue. Why did Todd Bowley talk about doing that's the basketball style where we have the all-star games and all. It's just for the money. Let fans come, we get money, you send ticket. Saudi is about to be mentioned as the host for the 2034 World Cup. And why? What is there? It's because of we've seen where money has popped in.
Everything you are saying, I will bring you back to one of our Chelsea are favourites to win because they've pumped in money the most.
Chelsea are not favourites to win.
That's what I want to bring out. That's what I want to bring out from this conversation. After everything you've said, Chelsea are favourite because they pumped in money.
Chelsea are punching above their weight. No one expected that.
City pumped in money and won immediately.
We started this season.
Why can't you pump in money and win?
We started this season and there is no time.
What's the difference? Answer the question. City pumped in money and won immediately. Why can't Chelsea do the same?
City pumped in money and bought players that had experience. Chelsea pumped in money on young lads.
On young lads. Pedro Neto does not have experience. Has
not
played in the Premier League.
Just one good season.
Has Pedro Neto not played in the Premier League before?
With Wolves.
So what? Enzo Fernandez was not the best young player at the World Cup. Was not the best player at the World Cup.
These are young players. What was Jackson doing?
Which one is what
Mose Caicedo, what was he doing?
What was he doing?
These are young lads. They did not, that's why they have the youngest team currently. So I'm saying that
that's not an excuse.
No, it's as long as you were not able to predict that Chelsea will be ahead of Arsenal.
Manchester United used a young Wayne Rooney to do wonders. That's not an excuse that you're using boys.
Since they have Rashford, a young Rashford has started passing.
Rashford, young Rashford.
They kept using a young Rashford.
He's still young actually. He's going to be 28 next year. He's actually still young.
Even getting to his
But anyway, sadly, that's all we have in this video, and it's looking like there is little to nothing that can be done about capitalism for now. At least that's what we think. But I mean, if you think otherwise, tell us what you think in the comment section below. How can clubs narrow down the gap between the financial pyramid, between the so-called big clubs and the lesser sides? Because it's looking like the big clubs will always be the predator and the smaller clubs will always be the prey. So what can football do to change this narrative? Zini thinks there is nothing that can be done, that unfortunately it can't be helped. I think otherwise, but in my head I really don't know how it will happen. But tell us what you think in the comment section below and we'll be sure to join the conversation. Stay tuned.